Hey everyone, excited to be back for this week's edition of Frequently Asked Questions for Commercial Real Estate. In today's video, what I thought I'd do is talk about a concept that is quite important in commercial real estate, in particular if you're looking to acquire commercial property. And that is, how do you identify commercial property owners? Now, the reason why this is so important is because in order for you to acquire great deals in commercial real estate, oftentimes it's by sitting down or talking to the owner and establishing a relationship with them and potentially being able to acquire the commercial property off market. So one of the best ways to do that is to individually reach out to these commercial property owners to see if they'd be interested in selling or at least discussing the concept of selling in the future. And so what I wanted to do today was highlight some of the strategies that I use in order to reach out to commercial property owners to see if they're able to, or they're interested in selling, or maybe in the future they'd be interested in selling as well. So to start off, the first thing you're going to need is the address. You're going to have to know what property you're looking to target. Once you actually have the address, one thing I would recommend you do is reach out or go to the website of the Property Valuation Administration, or local PVA is what it's called here. It may be different in your city or state or wherever you're located, but you want to reach out to the department within the government, local government, where the property records are held. And generally speaking, they'd have a website that you can plug in an address and pull up some property information. Now, within these public records, generally, they would be able to show you who the owner of the property is. Now, if it's an individual, great. You have the name of the person that you can go about trying to search for their contact information. But there are a lot of instances, in particular with commercial property, where the building is owned by a corporation or an LLC. Now, in that instance, it's going to be a little bit harder for you to be able to identify who the actual ownership group is within that corporation or LLC. So what you would do next, and once you do have the name of the corporation or LLC, is you'd go to your Secretary of State website. Now, anytime that a corporation or LLC registers with the state, they're required to provide a few pieces of information. Number one, the registered agent, and some will even provide the membership within the LLC or some of the corporate leadership within the corporation. So that's what I generally do, is when I identify the name of the corporation, you go to the Secretary of State website, plug in the name, and generally that'll pop up the registered agent and the ownership group within the corporation or the LLC. And so if they do in fact provide the individuals within that organization, great. Now you have some names in order to do some searches to be able to pull up some contact information. Now there are instances where, if you're setting up an LLC or corporation, sometimes the registered agent is provided within the documents, and then the contact person as well is going to be a registered agent, which may be a third party like a lawyer who receives all correspondence, in which case it's going to be a little bit harder for you to identify who the owner of that property is. But in the situations where you do have those names, now you go on to the next step. And the next step is what I generally do, is go out to fastpeoplesearch.com. Now, this is a free website that you can utilize in order to pull up contact information for different individuals. Now, it's not 100% accurate. A lot of times the contact information they provide is inaccurate, but there are some times where I've been able to get good phone numbers for people and then be able to reach out to them and start that conversation. Now, in the situations where that does not work, there's also options called batch or skip tracing. What skip tracing is companies that have algorithms that scour the internet to be able to pull up contact information. And sometimes they have relationships with different phone providers in order to pull information from those websites. Generally speaking, you'd pay a per record fee. If you upload like a list of 500 addresses, it'll pull back the ownership information plus some contact information, etc. And then there's some batch or skip tracing websites where you can search individual records, but you'll usually pay a little bit higher price per record because it's less bulk, essentially. The ones that I've used in the past are primarily batch skip trace. And I know there's a ton of other batch or skip trace websites out there, so do a little bit of research to find out which ones are most effective. Generally speaking, with the records that I pulled, you're looking anywhere between 60 to 70% effective rate. Sometimes the phone numbers don't work, obviously, but that's part of the game, right? You reach out to these individuals and see if they are interested in selling, or if in the future they may be interested in selling. And just having that conversation and establishing that relation with the commercial property owner can be extremely beneficial. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you like this video and this channel, feel free to like, share, and subscribe. I always love providing awesome and engaging content related to commercial real estate. If you're in the market to buy, sell, or lease commercial property here in the Louisville metro area, I'm happy to help you do so. You can reach out to me. My number is 502-536-7315, or you can reach me via email at Raphael@CREGroup.com. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video, and we'll see you guys next week. See ya.